So we're Team 15 from Toronto Metropolitan University, and today we'll be presenting a geomatics-based solution to manage mobility at the TD Coliseum on major event days. I'm Alia Garji.
I'm Trisha Kama.
And my name is Arush Kirupakar.
Before we get into the details, we framed our solutions around these three main objectives. The first one being realistic solutions. We focused on changes that are actually doable, not only for the TD Coliseum, but the city itself, whilst ensuring accessibility to all demographics, ranging from an older to younger audience, and people who aren't super tech savvy. The second one, smarter event dispersal. We focus on both arrivals and especially departures, aiming to reduce congestion and long queues at gates and curbsides, so attendees experience a smoother, safer exit. And finally, stronger transit preference. We want more people to opt for public transportation as opposed to private vehicles, so we could lower traffic volumes around the Coliseum, ease post-event congestion, and improve the overall flow of the network.
And the first solution we would like to propose to you guys is an app called Gateflow. So Gateflow is a GIS-based real-time gate optimization system that monitors live congestion at arena entrances and dynamically reroutes attendees to less crowded gates aligned with their seating section. So we aim to accomplish this by integrating ticket scans, crowd sensors, and spatial hotspot analysis, where the system would balance entry flow before bottlenecks form. Instead of reacting to congestion, Gateflow predicts and redistributes in real time. So Gateflow combines live ticketing data, crowd sensors, and parking occupancy into a spatial dashboard. So using hotspot analysis and spatial overlay, we identify the high density areas around gates and sidewalks. And through network analysis, the app calculates the fastest pedestrian route to the most efficient gate based on their zone that they are in. And finally, we have geofencing, which ensures rerouting avoids emergency corridors and constrained sidewalks by sending a notification to the user entering into a new zone. And this transforms a static map into a real-time spatial decision support. And next, we have the parties that benefit from our app. For attendees, Gateflow reduces entry times through real-time gate optimization and while improving safety and accessibility. For residents, it reduces sidewalk overflow and street spillback by redistributing pedestrian flow more efficiently. And importantly, we have our emergency responders, where it protects their emergency routes and maintains clearance corridors by preventing congestion near emergency gates, resulting in safer, faster, and more coordinated event day mobility.
And our second solution is a post-event mobility partnership initiative. Unlike Arrival, where people trickle in at different times depending on their schedule, their demographic, and their commute, Egress is almost perfectly synchronized. Everybody leaves relatively at the same time. To break that peak, TD Coliseum partners with nearby small businesses to offer post-event discounts to anyone who shows their event ticket, physical or digital. Promotions are short and time limited, for example, only valid for up to 2 hours after the event end time printed on the ticket. So instead of everybody heading straight back to their vehicle, a portion of the crowd goes downtown to eat, shop, and explore. That staggers departures over time and space, easing egress congestion around the venue while boosting revenue for local businesses, so both mobility and the local economy benefits. To ground the partnership idea in geomatics, we first mapped where it actually makes sense to offer those discounts. Here created a 500-meter walking buffer around the TD Coliseum, roughly a 5 to 7 minute walk, and intersected it with Hamilton zoning layers to pull out only the D2 parcels. D2 is a downtown commercial zoning, so these are areas already intended for shops, food, and services. All of the pink parcels within the circle are those designated D2 commercial properties, and together they form our designated partnership zone. This is the zone where we focus post-event discounts, so crowds are drawn into the streets that are meant to handle activity rather than spilling into nearby neighborhoods, residential blocks, or straight into traffic. This way, we support local businesses, keep walking trips short and realistic, and protect the quality of life in the nearby surrounding neighborhoods.
So next we have our data-driven dispersal. Right now we already know that TD Coliseum faces a certain gridlock after every major event. So our analysis actually focuses on York Boulevard, which is a city artery that already handles 14,000 of vehicles daily. So during the egress, actually thousands of cars try to exit within just 60 minutes of post-event window time. So the Bay Street closures actually funnels all of this traffic onto York, and the intersection at York and Bay hits a 400% capacity overload. For fans in nearby parking lots, this results in a guaranteed exit delay for at least over 40 minutes. Next, we have our map-driven strategy. To fix this, we mapped out how fans are actually going to move. We have our 500-meter buffer zone. This is the blue area, which actually covers the 5-minute walk from the arena. This is also the same exact spot where fans are still on foot, walking, and deciding how to get home. So the green lines are determined using the real-time transit data. We found a 15-minute win using these green priority corridors, which are the B line, A line, and the Route 1. So this shifts all the traffic away from the red bottleneck at York and Bay. So our strategy starts before the event even happens. We reach out to both of the drivers and the commuters through pre-arrival emails as well as the app notifications. So once inside, we use the anchor nudge on the Jumbotron as well as any digital signages on site to reach the fans before they head out of the venue. So the signage displays a live time comparison, for example, a 40-minute vehicle crawl versus a 15-minute transit advantage. So we direct our fans towards the critical connectors, which are again the A and B line as well as the Route 1. So the B line moves the fans out of the impact zone and into major hubs like the Hamilton Go Center as well as the Magnab Terminal in just 15 minutes. By shifting the out-of-towners as well as the local towards these routes, we bypass the 400% overload at York and Bay. So this removes a 2.5 kilometers line of cars, getting fans home faster while also ensuring that the emergency gate 14 remains clear for emergencies.
And next we have the implementation process for the Gateway app, which occurs in 3 phases. First, we have the pre-event, where we would map pathways and emergency routes to ensure they are undisturbed, integrate ticketing systems, and establish congestion thresholds for each gate. And on event day, the dashboard activates before kickoff to predict arrival surges, classify gate congestions, and push rerouting alerts in real time. And post-event, we would validate predicted versus actual flow and recalibrate routing weights to improve model accuracy for future events. This ensures the system is adaptive, scalable, and operationally realistic.
To wrap up, the timeline shows how our 3 solutions come to life on a real event day. As fans arrive, they check the Gateflow app to see which entrances are the busiest and are nudged towards the less congested gates that's still convenient for their seating. After the event, they have 2 clear paths. They could join the partnership initiative, Stay for Bites, Dodge the Lights, using their ticket to redeem post-event deals at nearby businesses, or choose to beat the rush with Smart Transit to get the most efficient transit way home. Together, this sequence turns one big surge of people leaving all at once into a managed staggered flow that supports local businesses and keeps traffic moving. Thank you for listening.